The multiverse, a concept that's become a treasure trove of creativity, but also a tired trope in modern media. From epic events like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, to the more mixed receptions of the Doctor Stranges in the multiverses of madnesses, it seems like everyone wants a piece of the multiverse pie. But then comes Marvel Rivals, a game that takes the multiverse concept, simplifies it, and somehow brings new life into it. Today we're breaking down Marvel Rivals, its plot, gameplay, and why this game is a breath of fresh air for comic book fans, gamers, and even the future of the MCU. So what exactly is the story of Marvel Rivals? Marvel Rivals kicks off with an absolutely hostile meeting between two versions of Doctor Doom. The classic Marvel villain, or at least it seems to be that way, and his unique 2099 counterpart. The result of this meeting? A catastrophic event called the Time Stream Entanglement, merging multiple universes and creating entirely new worlds. This forces heroes and villains alike from across the multiverse to clash with one shared goal: stopping both versions of Doom before they can seize control of these fractured realities. It's a high-stakes setup that feels very reminiscent of 2015's Secret Wars comic book, where universes collided to create Battleworld. Honestly, it also has some aspects of the 1980s Secret Wars, where the Beyonder gets the superheroes and villains and makes them fight each other. But unlike Secret Wars, Marvel Rivals doesn't drown itself in any of that endless complexity, although both Secret Wars are actually pretty fun to read, and with the 2015 Secret Wars, the complexity definitely adds to it. Instead, Marvel Rivals thrives on simplicity. At its core, the plot is straightforward. Stop Doom before one variant becomes the ruler of the multiverse. It's not really bogged down with too many subplots or convoluted stakes. It's clear, it's direct, and it's perfect for a game designed around action and competition. We've seen the multiverse handled well in events like 2015's Marvel's Secret Wars, which kind of redefined Marvel's storytelling by creating a bold new world where heroes and villains were forced into alliances and conflicts, and heroes and villains from across the multiverse were meeting. On the other hand, the MCU's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and some other movies that have recently come up, kinda left fans feeling underwhelmed. I mean, honestly, so did some of the DC stuff like The Flash. But that was pretty funny. In Multiverse of Madness, what was promised as an epic dive into alternate realities ended up feeling thin and messy. Marvel Rivals avoids these pitfalls by doing something brilliant. It keeps the multiverse concept fun and action-packed without overloading it. The worlds you fight in, they're colorful, creative, brimming with creativity, and sometimes even directly from comics, games, or movies. Yet, the game doesn't get caught up in trying to over-explain every little detail of how that works. And that works for the game. This isn't a game trying to win an Oscar for storytelling. It's about putting you in the middle of insane, high-stakes battles in wild new realities. In an era where the multiverse risks becoming oversaturated thanks to the MCU, Spider-Verse, DC movies, and beyond, Marvel Rivals feels like a fresh take. It's chaotic, yes, but it's chaos with purpose. At first glance, Marvel Rivals might remind you of games like Overwatch or Fortnite. The fast-paced, team-based battles and the unique abilities for each characters with the emphasis on strategy all feel very familiar. But Marvel Rivals takes those influences and crafts something uniquely its own. Every character feels distinct. Thor wields the power of Mjolnir to control the battlefield, while Wolverine focuses on his close-range ferocity. Then you have Scarlet Witch, who excels at area control with her reality-bending powers. Each hero or villain plays differently, encouraging you to find the character that suits your playstyle. And the gameplay is fluid, it's responsive and dynamic, and it kind of changes a little bit for what character you're playing. But what's important is the excitement isn't just in the fights themselves. It's also about how the developers have built this game. With season passes that carry over, the ability to unlock some of the paid skins through just playing, and rewards for enjoying the game rather than just paying to win or paying for the hot lady skin, Marvel Rivals is already setting a standard for fairer, player-friendly practices that hopefully the industry might soon follow. And what makes Marvel Rivals even more exciting is the hope it brings. Not just for video games and changing the industry, hopefully, but for the broader Marvel universe. In recent years, some fans have felt that the MCU's multiverse adaptations have lacked focus, relying too much on spectacle or cameos over substance. Marvel Rivals proves that you can keep the multiverse simple, creative, and fun without losing its epic scale. And the buzz is real. Both gaming and comic communities are hyped about how Marvel Rivals blends smooth gameplay with a deep respect for the source material. It's a love letter to the multiverse without drowning in exposition or forced cameos. And another stroke of genius I just want to mention in Marvel Rivals is how the developers have used the multiverse setting to reimagine characters while staying true to their core identities. I know, pretty much this sounds like I'm just glazing Marvel Rivals over and over and over, but by leaning into the game's unique story route, unique and simple multiverse setting, Marvel Rivals and the developers are free to introduce spins on iconic designs without the fear of angering hardcore fans. Take Magneto, for example. His look in the game isn't necessarily the classic Magneto from the main Marvel universe, but it pays homage to his iconic elements in a way that feels fresh and exciting. I just want to give Marvel Rivals credit for this, just like we often give Fortnite credit for bringing in characters from media, whether it's television, comics, movies, shows, anything like that, and adapting them to fit Fortnite's art style. Marvel Rivals is doing something very similar, and this approach lets the developers go wild with the creativity while respecting the source material, leading to jaw-dropping designs. I mean, Magneto looks cool as shit, and cool new interpretations of characters. It's the perfect way to strike a balance, fresh enough to intrigue new players, but familiar enough to satisfy long-term Marvel fans. While we're looking at characters, let's talk about characters. You have heavy hitters like Hulk, who can smash his way through enemies with raw power, but also has that unique dynamic where he's also Bruce Banner. You play as both. You're not just the humongous tank with tons of health, destroying everything in your path. You're also the man who's more of an attack hero with a gun, and he powers up into the Hulk being. Honestly, I love that idea. It's a fantastic implementation of the idea of this dynamic, this Jekyll and Hyde Hulk Bruce Banner side. Then there's Venom, and he brings his symbiotic flair to the battlefield with his devastating tendrils. His body is just so fluid and dynamic. I don't even know how to describe it. It looks symbiotic, and his attack pattern and his ultimate, he's able to bring people into his own symbiote and cause damage to large groups. It just feels like something Venom would absolutely do. And on the mystical side, we also have characters. Scarlet Witch's chaos magic creates unparalleled disruption. Whenever I face her, my character just fucking dies. And Doctor Strange, at the same time, kind of counters with his precision sorcery. Both feel so in line with their comic or movie counterparts, whichever you're familiar with. But of course, we can't forget Spider-Man, swinging into battle with agility and web-based crowd control. I mean, you gotta give the developers of Marvel Rivals props for implementing his web swinging in a way that feels very familiar to other games. And at the same time, they want to pay homage to the source material. Spider-Man's known for this one ability, the spider sense, allowing him to sense danger ahead of time. That's not really something you can do in a multiplayer game where people are putting inputs live, and Spider-Man can't really get the advantage in that way. But they still find a way to implement his spider sense by giving Spider-Man this sense of where enemies might be at. Not the attacks they're doing, but where they might be at near him on the battlefield. So whether you're into brute force, speed, or strategy, there's honestly a character for every playstyle, and there's so many others to try. Each character you play feels true to their comic roots, and their abilities make every battle a spectacle at the very least. It's not just about winning, it's about experiencing the Marvel Universe in motion and becoming a part of it yourself. And sure, everyone loves swinging into action as Spider-Man or smashing as Hulk and feeling like you're one of your favorite characters, but how many people knew about Jeff the Shark before this game? Or Penny Parker, the Ultimate Universe spider hero piloting her Spider-Mech? By putting these hidden gems front and center, and hopefully adding more later, Marvel Rivals gives players a chance to fall in love with characters they might have never known about or encountered in mainstream comics or movies or shows. This opens the door for new fans to dive into Marvel's vast library of stories, turning casual gamers possibly into comic book readers. But there's still room for growth. One glaring omission is Morbius, Marvel's living vampire. This fan-favorite anti-hero seems like a no-brainer for the game's spooky multiverse-inspired aesthetic. Let's hope the developers hear our cries and make it happen in the next update. I mean, who wouldn't want to see Morbius make his moves in the Time Stream Entanglement? He would probably be the most broken character and beat pretty much everyone else in the whole Marvel Universe. But yeah, Marvel Rivals isn't just another multiverse story. It's proof that the multiverse can still be exciting, fresh, and most importantly fun. With its dynamic gameplay, creative worlds, and a fair approach to rewards, this game is a standout in an era where oversaturation risks diluting what makes Marvel and the multiverse special. For gamers, comic book fans, and MCU skeptics, Marvel Rivals offers something new. A chance to engage with the Marvel Universe in a way that feels alive, energetic, and hopeful. But what do you think? Is Marvel Rivals a revolutionary or at least fun new game? Or is it a copycat or a clone of another game? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and thanks for watching.